Now, away from that, comedian Funny Face has openly threatened to kill the mother of his children, Vanessa Nicole, for using the children as an excuse to extort money from him. In a viral video, he hinted at committing suicide after he has killed Vanessa and her mother. The comic actor expressed extreme anger at other media personalities and friends who have been with him over the years, even when he was admitted at a psychiatric hospital. This video comes months after he was committed to a psychiatric hospital for 2 weeks by an Ofanko Circuit Court. The presiding judge observed that he was not sounding normal.
Mubisa Vanessa said, "Minya accident, 6 weeks in here. I can make it just say, Mubisa Vanessa so I fuck phone pass premier. Mubisa Vanessa so I fuck phone and I was testing people say, oh, not try now, we try it. Yes, she knew I was coming to her. Me gone on come come we are coming we are no no. We are no. Who for this thing come up 3-5 billion. Because we have funny is for this man. So to have a gesture for public to see so here. Vanessa, everything close them member bullet and yam. Hey, before Babini, I want me bow. When you me back, hey, who did drop? One of my Mrs. Yes, and here, yes, near.
So this video, came with some unprintable words directed at some persons, close to him, and it also came with a suicide note. I will bring you details of that on your screens shortly. And so that over there is a screenshot of the notes that came with the video, essentially bidding farewell to his children and that of the mother of his children, and telling them about where he has some landed property, and also asking them to, asking them to do some things on his behalf, which includes his vision of, creating a field for children, a playground actually for children who could, use that for recreation purposes. Let's go on to Zoom now and speak to psychologist Dr. W.H.O Entry. Thank you very much for joining us, madam. Your impressions about this video, first of all.
Thank you very much and good evening.
Good evening.
As a starter, I am a psychiatrist, not a psychologist. Our jobs are closely related but quite different. So that video is a sad one. What comes to mind immediately is the fact that Funny Face needs help immediately. He needs help immediately. His family, loved ones, his manager should get help for him as soon as possible. We should consider this as an emergency for him.
How should this be tackled?
Well, there are so many ways to tackle this. He will need to understand himself the need for the help. But if he does not understand, then there are some other channels that we can go through. But in his position as a public figure, we would not want to go into details about all the measures that are in place. But what I can say is that he needs help. He has families, he has a manager. They should get the help for him as soon as possible. And I'm sure they know where to get the help.
But how about the persons who are being threatened? Will they need any form of psychological help or support at this time?
Definitely. We should not take those threats for granted. We should not ignore them. We should get some security for them even in the first place. They should be protected because this is an open threat to them. And so we should not ignore it and then take it for granted. They should get some protection and then get some psychological support, because this can lead to fear and panic. This can lead to anxiety. This can lead to a series of other stress that can break them down in several ways. And so aside getting protection for them, they should also get some psychological support.
We are in the month of mental health. What can you say about mental health of celebrities or popular persons, people who are out there? What can you say about that?
in fact, nobody is immune to mental health challenges. Mental health disorders are no respecter of persons. It doesn't matter your level in the society. And indeed, those even in the limelight are likely to suffer more because it will be more challenging for them to step out and get help. I want to throw an invitation to everyone out there. It is not a curse. It is not a misfortune to suffer any form of mental challenge. There is help available, and we understand that you are a celebrity. We understand that you are in the limelight, and we will know how to tackle your case if you run to us for help. And nobody should take their mental health for granted. And as we are celebrating this month, we are creating the awareness that, hey, it is no respect of persons. Don't suffer in silence. Run to the right places for help. You could let your pastor pray for you, but in addition to it, get technical help, get professional help, and then you'll be functional enough. You will be able to meet the needs of your target audience, or you'll be able to perform to your maximum and make the required money and resources that you need to promote your business.
Dr. Osei, I want you to hold the line for me. There's a story that we're bringing to viewers, which we'll need your thoughts on as well. Police in Kumasi on a manhunt for a man who is alleged to have murdered his pregnant wife at Nyanche Nyase, close to Sofo Line in Kumasi. The suspect, only identified as Maxwell in his early 40s, stabbed the wife multiple times in front of their 6-year-old son and has since fled the community. Love FM's Erastus Saridonko visited their rented apartment and now reports.
About 12 o'clock, and I'm just about to team. To a team on say, oh, come you. And I was say, it's solid, and I'm solid. No, what do lighting until why you soon? To you, Hannah Bam and the peer free them on or buy natures and sending me a new demoja. And I'm oh, Rama Sonade. One Cassante de Muya so for Banataliana or the Pipa Mujan.
That is wife of the landlord, Madame Amanyako, narrating how she was woken from her sleep by a pregnant woman being killed by her husband.
Behind me is the room where the murder is alleged to have occurred. Now, the two have been living for some time now. They rented this apartment about a year ago. They live with their 6-year-old son. And in fact, the murder occurred in front of the 6-year-old son. Now, Friday at dawn is where eyewitnesses say they heard screams from their room, which is just behind me. The woman asking people for help because the husband was killing her. In fact, when they got there, the husband had already killed her and was rubbing his hands with a cloth to clean the blood, according to eyewitnesses.
Papa says one trasia, mekun. And to us, somehow, or mammy, can say, oh, and to be a Benjamin who woke me, not as so how me a mamma and a money. And Tinan and a marbon tonight. Now, Cransword and Toma, I couldn't sense what Papa so wonder. And Tinan to money crack rent into the Ortiana say, oh, and to be a Benjamin who woke me, will be a Benjamin who woke me. Watch a coniano, as she say. And now, Nanini Gusso, and Anna Seno, a Gusso. As a Nanina High.
Well, Erastus Saridonko joins us via Zoom with more on this. Erastus, you have been interacting with a member of the family. Who is this and what has the person been saying?
Yes, I've been interacting with the grandfather of the victim, and he tells me that the family is in sorrow now. In fact, they are in shock, and they did not anticipate that something like this could happen. He also tells me that, in fact, there have been some quarrels, misunderstanding between the two, and he's been trying to solve it for some time. It based on the fact that the man accuses the woman of infidelity. He thinks that the woman is sleeping around. The woman also disagrees. He says, no, I'm not sleeping around. And so they've been solving that for some time. They never expected that he will graduate into this level where he will kill the lady. So now their main concern is that they want the public to help the police identify and arrest the suspect, who is now at large.
Do we know the whereabouts of the 6-year-old?
In fact, the 6-year-old, we learn, has endured some level of trauma because he was in the room. He wanted to come out, according to eyewitnesses, but the dad said he should sleep or else he will be killed. And so he covered himself with cloth. And so currently he has been given to an elder brother of the deceased to take care of him. For now, the grandfather tells me he's doing well. He's not showing any signs of, problems. And so they think that they will have to watch him for some time. If they feel that he needs some counseling, they will get a doctor to do that.
Erastus, thank you very much, and we'll be following up more on this story. We'll bring you updates as and when we get it. But we still have with us on the other line, on Zoom, psychiatrist Dr. Rose Osu-Antwi. Madam, we are grateful that you stayed with us. This little boy, we understand, has seen so much. What can be done to help him?
My heart aches for this young boy. I'll leave the matter of the victim, the perpetrator, into the hands of the law, but my heart goes out to this little boy. He has witnessed the highest level of abuse. There's a lot of literature that backs the fact that children who witness abuse or are abused themselves eventually grow up to be abusive adults. Okay. This child, whether he is showing any signs overtly or not, should be rushed to the clinic immediately. Thankfully, in Kumasi Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, the psychiatric unit runs an abuse clinic where we attend to all survivors of all forms of abuse, and this child will need help immediately. I would advise the family members who are waiting to see some changes before they bring the child over to bring the child immediately.
And Dr. Ruth Osu-Antwi is with the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital and a psychiatrist there. Madam, thank you very much for speaking to us.